Good day, everyone. Thanks for joining me today for our weekly sales webinar. Today, we're going to touch on a topic that's dear to my heart, selling to national brands. Discussion today will involve a little bit of product training as well as sales training to, either anyone with multi-location businesses or those large national brands that you may be prospecting or selling to. My name is Rattanavong. I'm the Director of Sales here. I work with the product division as well as our large partners in the brand space. A few housekeeping items that I'd like to discuss. We do have these sales webinars every week on Wednesdays. I believe it's always at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. We're also introducing a new initiative here at Vendasta On Demand. It's on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be more product centric. It'll walk you through some of our products and take some live Q&A as well. So don't hesitate to sign up for that. We'll send out a registration link after our sales webinar. We also provide a product insider on a bi-weekly basis. This is a newsletter that goes out. It's super interesting for me. I even have signed up to it to see what we're doing here. We move so quickly at Vendasta that it's always good to sign up for this product insider to know what's coming out this week, this month, and where our vision is going with our product or our platform. You can contact your support person. You can contact your account executive or account manager as well if you want to be included in that product insider. We also have for our clients who want to join our beta program, these are products that we release before we go out to everyone. So some of the things that, of course, some of the customizations that we've introduced has to deal with review generation. So if you want to sign up for that product, you can turn it on yourself. You just go to, if you have access to the Partner Central, your administrator, you can go to the Customize section, General Product Settings, and switch and enroll into the beta program, and you'll be able to see the new upcoming features before anyone else. So let's talk a little bit about brand analytics. I'm going to go into a little bit of a product training session right now. So just so everyone is aware, you do need a certain level of subscription to have access to brand analytics. You need to be either on our professional subscription or enterprise subscription. Once you're on those subscriptions, there is no additional fees for the report itself, but every report requires a reputation management account. And what that means is that you can't build a report without having a location-based reputation account. So if you have a client with 100 locations, all 100 of those locations need a reputation account before you can build the aggregate brand report associated with that brand or that client. Only administrators, so anyone who has back-end access to the Vendasta system can create these reports. You can share the links with your sales reps. You can share the links with the client as well. But for the person to be able to create the report, the administrator has to create that report. So they'll be able to create that brand report. They can create the business category. They can create different regions associated with that report. So if you have regional managers for your brands in the Midwest, Northeast, South, you can give them access just to those reports for those locations. So it's very customizable in the level of access that you give your clients. Be aware though when you're creating those new reports, information will not be populated in those reports until the next day. So if you have a client meeting that day and you want to pitch the client, you want to show them brand analytics, you have to create that report one day in advance before you can do so. The dashboard itself, when a client first logs in, they'll be able to quickly see, and this dashboard is only available at the highest level, so the brand manager can see this report. However, the regional managers will not have access to the dashboard at the dashboard tabs. They won't be able to quickly see all their locations, all their regions, who the worst and the best performers are when it comes to listings, who the worst and the best performers in the last 30 days are when it comes to reviews. They'll also be able to see their latest 5 negative reviews, across all the different sites and their latest 5 positive reviews. This quickly allows them to identify what they need to concentrate on any given time, any given day. So as far as listings or visibility, a brand manager can see all the listings for their locations. They can see not only are they listed on the different sites, they can also see whether or not those listings are accurate. So it gives them a place to get started. It gives them a roadmap. Now, if they want to ensure that all their locations have Google My Business listings or Google Map listings now, they can do so by quickly looking at the report, identifying where their errors are, and then, of course, concentrating on those most important sites for their business or their client's business or industry. So those would be the review sites, the search engine sites, the directory sites, and, of course, the social sites. The report itself is interactive. They can go into the report. They can see the listing information based upon whether or not they have a listing on those sites or the locations have listings, and then also whether or not those locations have accurate listings. Anything in blue is interactive. They can click on those. If they do have locations that stand out where they're only seeing 1 or 2 listings for that location, now they can concentrate on those outliers, ensure that they're getting found all across the web where they should be, and of course increasing their SEO increases their chances of getting new customers or new business. Another interesting feature or another awesome feature within the platform is the ability to see the listings by the different sources. So I can see where locations are missing listings. I can concentrate on the most important listings for my business or my company, whether it be the accuracy of information or whether it be whether or not they're located on those different sites. So of course I want to concentrate on Google, Bing, Yahoo, Yelp, and so on. It gives me the ability to see where I'm currently at, see where I need to be. So it provides you a roadmap, a brand roadmap on how to get your businesses or your locations listed on all the different sources and which ones are the most important to me. And then finally, you can identify the locations that need the most help. You can drill all the way down to the location level, see how they're listed, see what errors they currently have in their listing, and of course help those ones that are in most need of help. Also find out which ones are doing very well and replicate that success across your entire brand or your entire business. Reviews are extremely important. We all know that reviews help with getting new customers. It increases your conversion rate from online to people actually shopping at your store. So the review tab allows us to scroll down and see all the reviews. We can pull in all the reviews for that business or that brand from when people started leaving reviews. So some of the reviews go back 5, 10 years on some sources or sites. We can take an aggregate look at our entire brand reputation, so we can see how many positive, how many negative reviews we're receiving at any given month, who's receiving the most positive, which locations are receiving the most positive, negative reviews, and again, identify those ones that are in most need of help. Ones with low review scores need the most help. Identify the regions with the most review scores, the locations with the most review scores. By identifying those trends, it's not that we need to respond to every customer. We need to identify what the pain points are with our current customer base and ensure that we're improving our product. It's free market research for any brand, any multi-location business. We can also see all the reviews by the different sources. This gives us an idea of where we're getting these reviews. So if we're seeing a lot of reviews on Facebook, we're seeing a lot of reviews on Google+. That's great because those sites have high user rates or high users, large number of users. We want to ensure that we're getting lots of reviews on those most important sites. But if we see that we're getting more negative reviews on a site like Yelp, We want to try and bury those negative reviews in positive feedback from our customers. Provide different tools to our locations or stores through review generation, through a postcard, whatever it may be. Drive traffic to a site like Yelp so that we can get our raving fans, our most loyal customers, leaving positive reviews on that site. And then we can all go down all the way to the bottom level, track their progress, ensure that they're getting many reviews, ensure that we're helping those locations or those regions that are in dire need of our assistance. We can also track the reviews not only by where they're coming from and the star rating, we can also track them by date and time range. So if you want to download, if a client wants to take that information, do their own analysis through Excel or CSV, they can download the reviews for any given month on any given source and do their analysis offline. As an added benefit, because we know a lot of these multi-location businesses have multiple Facebook, Google, and Twitter profiles, we give the brand manager the ability to post out any type of promotion or content to Facebook, to Google, to Twitter, whether it be a lunch offering or so on, or a regional offering. They can do so with a click of a button. Everyone that adds those accounts to our reputation management, they can see which accounts are hooked up on Facebook, Google, and Twitter within our system, and they have the ability or the capabilities of promoting, of creating posts and publishing posts to those different sources. They can choose whether or not they want to publish to Facebook, to Google, to Twitter, and certain regions or accounts or locations that they want to publish an offering to. They also have the ability, if they're working with agencies, or let's say the stores want to do posts themselves, they have the ability to allow the stores to create those posts, but then the brand manager can review the posts before allowing or approving those to go out to their social site. So it gives them the ability to kind of manage their brand reputation, manage their brand image, their message, so that everyone's consistent across the board. So some common misconceptions that our partners don't realize or understand is that to create a brand report, every location needs their own reputation account. They have to also have that subscription, whether it be professional or enterprise. They can create unlimited reports. New reports take a day to populate or to be created. And then partners that do the single sign-on, they can only access the dashboard as we currently provide it. They can't take all that API information and create their own dashboard. There's a webinar link that we'll send out. It'll give you a 30-minute deep dive. You can also find this on the support page into the product for further information. So let's get into how to sell it. This is my favorite part. I love selling to large brands because I know it generates hundreds of thousands of dollars. It generates more revenue than you could selling to an individual location. Before we get started, I'm going to just play a little video on why it's important. What we do is important to not only a brand, but for any business. So of course we all know these moments happen every day. People are searching for different products or services or solutions morning, noon, and night. I have a recent event that happened to me. I was in Southern California. I was getting ready to go to the airport to catch my flight back to Saskatoon here. Found out that my car wouldn't start, my rental car, and they was giving me a code as an invalid ID, code for my key. And of course, going through my mind is, how am I going to catch my flight? You know, what do I need to do? I need to call the rental car agency. I need to call a tow truck. How do I get to where I need to be? Because of course I've been gone on the road for a week or so, and I want to get back to my family. First thing that comes out is my phone. Do a quick search, find the solution on YouTube. You know, allows me to resolve the issue quickly and then get onto my flight. So, I mean, it's so powerful now, the mobile phone and what we have and the amount of information that we can receive. Google calls it moments, the zero moment of truth. We want to ensure that our businesses or our customers, when people are looking for their products and services at any given moment, that they get found, but because of course that means new customers to them. So this is just a look at some of the brands that we currently work with. Here at Vendasta, we get to walk in the Valley of Giants every day. We work with some of the most iconic brands, nationally, internationally, globally. We work with General Motors, Gap, Goldskin. Most of you know them. Most of you have used some of these brands in your day-to-day lives. So why is their reputation important to them? I like to bring up the recent case or the recent news about Mr. Tom Brady. Of course, he took his employer, Roger Goodell, he took his boss to court based upon the fact that they were calling him a cheater. Does any of us really care about underinflated footballs? Do we really feel sorry for Tom? So why would Tom, you know, care about his reputation? Why would he take his employer to court? I mean, that's bad business, right? Bad news to take your boss to court. Most of us wouldn't do something like that. And most of us don't care about Tom's reputation because Tom lives in this large house, this monstrosity of a house. He gets to go home to that. He's a wealthy man. He's got a gorgeous wife that he gets to go home to every night. I feel less sorry for him now than ever. And then, of course, he's voted one of the most beautiful people in the world. So most of us admire Tom, but we kind of envy Tom, and we dislike Tom because of how much he has. But yet Tom still felt the need to take his employer to court over his tarnished reputation. And the reason, of course, he did that was because his reputation provides millions and millions of dollars to his family or to himself. His reputation means that he gets sponsorships with Under Armour, he gets sponsorships with General Motors. A tarnished reputation can cost him millions of dollars. And of course, the poster boy of a tarnished reputation costing him lots of money is Tiger Woods. He lost all of his sponsors because of the scandal. He lost, or a majority of his sponsors, not all of them. Nike was the only one that would stick by him. He lost his golf game. He lost his family. He lost half of his fortune, half of his earnings. And that could be the same for any given brand at any given time. They usually, it's not typically one incident that causes a brand their demise. It's many incidences. I refer to it as death by 1,000 cuts. We all remember what it was like to go to Blockbuster. Blockbuster was a very difficult place. Most people hated going to Blockbuster because of the lack of customer service. You go there, you try to get a movie, they were all rented out. You go there, you know that you have late fees the size of your mortgage payment. So people hated going to Blockbuster, and Blockbuster benefited from that, but they couldn't see beyond the trees, right? They couldn't see the forest for the trees. They were willing to adapt and listen to their customers based upon their complaints, even though Netflix had gone to them and asked them to be part of their solution and be bought out by Netflix, they still wouldn't change because of the revenue that they're receiving. Kodak the same way. I mean, they couldn't see the forest for the trees. They did not change based upon customer feedback, customer complaints, and it cost them their company and their business. Some of the strengths that brands have, of course, is their brand recognition and their consistency. We all know what we get when we go to Walmart. We get everyday low prices and very crappy service. But we still go because we know that they're consistent with what they provide us. We're not going to Walmart to expect exceptional service. They also have a strength in numbers. If one location or one store has a bad quarter or bad year, it doesn't usually cost them their business. They have many businesses, many revenue streams from those businesses, so they can hit those large revenue targets that they want to achieve. They also have substantial marketing budgets. Unlike most small, medium business or mom and pop store that may be able to spend $5,000 to $10,000 a year, General Motors alone last year spent $3.8 billion in advertising. So they stay top of mind when people are looking for cars. They get them by promoting often or frequently, and then eventually that information or that message gets ingrained in a person's psyche. Their weaknesses their strength can also be their weaknesses. Because they have such large mouth speed, they have many locations, they have these high revenue targets. It requires them to have a significant increase in their revenue. So if they're looking at increasing their revenue by 10% in any given year, I mean, you're looking at hundreds of millions of dollars in increased revenue. That can be detrimental to them when they don't hit those revenue targets. In the case of Walmart, recently, because they had a bad Christmas season, they were forced to close down 200 stores, and of course, the employee morale is going to go down due to that fact, and hundreds of people are going to lose their jobs. So it's a lot that they have on their plate, lots of responsibilities. Their size is also their weakness, and the fact that now, instead of having reviews for one location, they get reviews for hundreds, thousands of locations. So they're not only getting just 1 or 2 reviews a day, they're getting hundreds of reviews a day. So they need a solution. They need a way of managing all those reviews. They need to determine where those reviews are coming from. They need to determine any type of they need to determine what the reviews are about, and how to respond to those reviews in a positive manner. If they have listing issues, same thing. Now they have listing issues across the board, not just for one location. They have listing issues for hundreds, thousands of locations. And when it comes to local, they're no better off than the local Joe Plumber. Mr. Reuter is going to come up in search as prevalent as a local plumber based upon the consistency of information that they are providing to the search engine, the number of reviews that they're receiving, and whether or not they have a Google Plus page or some sort of Google account. So it's an even playing field when it comes to local search for a big brand or a small business. So our brand analytics dashboard is going to allow them to monitor and to manage their reputation online. They can monitor all their listings across the entire locations. They can use listing distribution to improve their SEO and improve their listing consistency across all the different sites. They can monitor reviews on sentiment and trends on all those locations. They can also, of course, use our multi-location social media posting capabilities. By enabling listing distribution, now instead of having to go fix this information on all the different sites, they can update it on the data providers, and then over time they can get their incorrect information corrected, whether it be a wrong address, phone number, website, or wrong phone number. And also it'll increase citations, a number of citations for those local businesses. Reviews, of course, increase the likelihood of getting purchases or getting new customers. A recent study has shown that a business or a product with 50 or more reviews, they're going to increase their conversion rates by 30%. So reviews are extremely important, not only when it comes to getting customer feedback or getting your clients, finding out whether or not you're doing a good job with your business. Of course, it's good because it increases your chances of getting new customers. And typically, reviews will increase your search engine optimization or search engine ranking, increase the traffic to those sites, to your website by 15 to 25%. So the people with more reviews, the companies with the businesses with more reviews, the brands with more reviews are more likely to get that search traffic than any other business. And then finally, reviews are free market research. Jay Bear, I just saw him speak at a conference. He talked about hugging your haters, taking those negative reviews and really changing your businesses based on, because those negative reviews, those 1, 2-star, 3-star reviews really have information on how to improve your product or your service, your shortcomings, so that you can be a better brand, a better business. 4 or 5-star reviews are great for conversion, but you want to get feedback from your customers. You can use our review gen tool to get that feedback. If you don't want it to go onto public sites, use the review gen tool. Any 3-star or less will come internal, identify trends from all those location-page reviews, and then create a better product or service for customers. And of course, if you respond to negative reviews, you're like 85% more likely to get that return business from that customer. If you don't respond to it, you have a 0% chance of getting that business again. And so now we can see those reviews. We provide them the dashboard to review all the feedback and all the reviews from all the different sites for the locations, identify the outliers, where they should be concentrating on, where they should spend their time, how do they respond to those reviews, create a marketing strategy where they can respond to reviews. You want to be genuine when you're responding to reviews. You don't want to get into an argument with an upset customer. It'd be like wrestling with a muddy pig. You're both going to get dirty, but of course the pig is going to enjoy it more than you will. So for the brand, they have to be strategic. They do have resources. They can either respond to those reviews, or you can offer them the service to respond to reviews on their behalf. And then identifying where the reviews are coming from, where you need to concentrate your marketing efforts to get more positive reviews. Then we discussed the date range picker, being able to download those reviews, do your off-site or offline analysis. So some key takeaways. One, when it comes to local businesses, when it comes to any business, doesn't matter if you're a large brand or you're a small shop, a mom and pop, you're both on the same playing field when it comes to local search. You want to identify the most successful businesses and replicate those across the entire brand. And then reviews increases revenue. So reviews generate ROI. We know that 90% of businesses or customers choose businesses based upon reading reviews. Thank you for your time today, everyone. I'm opening up the floor for any questions that you may have. So Drew has a question. Hi, Drew has a question about native images or links. Yes. So when you use the multi-location posting, those will be native images to those sites, whether it be on Facebook or Twitter or Google+. It will not be links that are associated. Ed has a question, does Vendasta sell directly to large brands? No, all these brands have come to us via partnerships with agencies and media companies. Glenn asked if the slide deck is available to you. Yes, I will share this slide deck to everyone who wants it. You can either send me an email at any time. My email address here is srattanavong@vendasta.com, or you can reach me at our main phone line. Also, you can find me on LinkedIn. And then Jay had one final question. Can you clarify about iframe? Yes, you can iframe our brand analytics report into whatever solution that you provide and dashboard that you have. If you need help with iframing or any type of access to a brand report through a third-party solution, please get a hold of our support team. They'll be able to assist you with that integration. And then finally, Glenn asked a few large brands that you can reference. You can reference General Motors. You can reference Mr. Reuter. You can reference Chrysler as well. I think that's all the questions we have for today, and that's all the time I have. Thank you, everyone, for joining the webinar, and keep on keeping on.